Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy JGM Wrestling, back out here with another wrestling reaction video. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to 10 best WWE matches of 2024. This video is actually made by Cultaholic Wrestling. Let's give it a watch and let's see what they got to say of what was the best match in 2024. Because 2024 was a good year, I'm not going to lie, for wrestling.
2024 was a big year for WWE, who could seemingly do no wrong as they habitually broke records when it came to attendance, viewership, and money generated.
Yes.
And that's all well and good for the company, but what did they provide for the fans who paid with their time, attention, and cash? Well, as far as their in-ring year was concerned, 2024 was a rather strong one for WWE, with several classic matches taking place on both TV and at PLEs. These were the pick of the bunch. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 best WWE matches of 2024. Join us. Number 10, Cody Rhodes vs AJ Styles at Clash at the Castle, Scotland. With hometown hero Drew McIntyre challenging Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship in the show's main event, it was up to Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles to kick off proceedings in Glasgow, which they did in some style with their I Quit match for Cody's WWE title.
This, low-key, this match was not the best, bro. Come on, making AJ Styles quit the way how he did was not the best.
A rematch from Backlash
I already kind of disagree on that.
France.
The one in France, though, that Backlash one, that one was good. But this one,
More on that a little later. The bar had been set high by the American Nightmare and the Phenomenal One, but the two pros had a match that was every bit as compelling and yet very different from their first encounter. Things were intense from the off as they brawled through the crowd and backstage before coming back to the ring, which is where things started getting really nasty. AJ was a vicious little pit bull in trying to get Cody to say the two magic words, leathering his handcuffed opponent with kendo stick and chair shots and earning a slap from Cody's mother for his troubles. Rhodes got himself back into the match, putting Styles through a table in a perfectly timed spot and eventually made him quit by cuffing him to the ropes and threatening him with the steel stairs, and then hit him with them anyway. Why not? Number 9, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga at Backlash France. Like Clash at the
bro, the crowd reaction on France with Randy Orton's song was electrifying, bro. This one was a good one. I'll give him that one.
Castle, Backlash France was a 5-match premium live event that would have been good anyway, but was elevated by the rabid international crowd. WWE, to their credit, started things off hot, turning the scheduled regular tag match opener into a street fight after a wild brawl. What followed was just a whole load of fun, as the four men were clearly having the time of their lives doing their thing in front of such a receptive audience who never allowed the energy levels to drop. There was plenty of plunder here, with tables being broken and Owens, in a truly insane spot, putting Tama through a stack of chairs with a variation of a top rope brainbuster. That was the cue for a debuting Tonga Loa to make the
And this is where they hit the botch Loa
save in the latest twist in the Bloodline saga, which allowed Solo to Samoan Spike his way to victory. Well, that took the wind out of the crowd's sails a little, but this was a hell of a deal and a tremendous way to kick off the show. Number 8, Sami Zayn vs Chad Gable on Raw. 2024 was a great year for certified bangers on free TV, with the majority of them taking place on Raw. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable had quite the spring feud over Zayn's Intercontinental title, with Sami defending against the man who had helped him get ready for his WrestleMania showdown with Gunther. This would have been a great match regardless, but once again, the crowd, in this case Zayn's hometown crowd in Montreal, just brought things up that little
I don't remember. I think, was this when the heel turn happened? I think it was. I'm not sure.
Bit higher. The tone was set with the champ's epic entrance through the fans, but Chad was very much ready, willing, and Gable once the bell rang, wrestling Sami down to the mat and shrugging off attempted rallies to focus on his ankle. The story of the match from there saw the challenger get more aggressive and flustered due to the frustration of not being able to put Zayn away, the closing stretch stuffed with beautiful transitions and counters.
Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted Chad Gable to win this one, I'm sorry. But it was like Sammy was already hot as it is in the industry. Giving it to Chad, I feel like would have been kind of fire too, and just elevate him. I mean, he's doing great work right now being a heel with his American Made team, don't get me wrong. But I felt like they should have gave him the belt. I think he's going to get it though soon. This year it has to happen.
In the end, Sammy was able to fight through the pain and hit a haluva kick to retain, causing Gable to snap and turn heel. Number 7, Ilya Dragunov versus Ricochet on Raw. The 2024 King of the Ring tournament produced some absolute belters, with 2 of the best matches of it, they of the year, taking place not just in the first round, but on the same episode of Raw. The match between Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet was an interesting one, not just stylistically, but because of where both men were in their respective WWE careers at the time. The former had just started his main roster run, while the latter would, unbeknownst to fans, be on his way out of the company in just a matter of weeks. But if you think that the departing King of Flight might phone it in, well, think again. Because Ricochet was at his best here against Dragunov, the two having a very competitive contest stuffed with counters and big moves. Highlights included Ricochet missing a moonsault on the outside and landing on his feet, only to have Dragunov plant him with a released German suplex on the floor, and Ricochet nailing 3 dives in a row. After around 14 very surly back and forth minutes, Ilya hit a second H-bomb to advance in the tournament while enhancing his own in-ring reputation at the same time. Number 6, Gunther.
What are they doing with Ilya Dragunov right now? I don't remember. Is he injured? I'm not sure. But he was another one that was doing really good too. And we thought low-key Gunther versus Ilya was going to really happen.
Versus Sheamus on Raw. Well, just how do you follow a breathless state-of-the-art battle between 2 cruiserweights? I'll tell you, you put the big lads out there and let them beat the hell out of each other for 20 minutes. That's how. The Celtic Warrior and Der Ring General always bring the physicality, and this bruising battle was no exception. You knew what you were in for from the very first tie-up. Chops, forearms, uppercuts, kicks, and clubs. There was really nothing fancy about
I really want Sheamus to get his get back on Gunther. I'm calling it right now. I want it to happen.
Most of what was on display, but the 2 warhorses did everything with such conviction that you just couldn't help but be mesmerized by it all. It was simple, effective meat and potatoes wrestling, with 2 guys throwing bombs at each other until Gunther decided to focus his attack on his opponent's right knee after an interfering Ludwig Kaiser had been sent to the back. Sheamus fought valiantly and registered some close near falls with his own heavy-duty offense, but Gunther trapped him in a single-leg Boston Crab, and that was all she wrote. Number 5, Io Sky versus Bayley at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. There were 2 great women's title matches at WrestleMania 40, with Raw's Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch setting the table for the weekend with the Night 1 opener. Good as that match was, it wasn't quite at the level that SmackDown's Io Sky and Bayley hit on Night 2. The Royal Rumble winner was back to being a babyface after being kicked out of Damage Control, and while there were some who questioned the turn after such a strong heel run, Bayley showed everybody why she is one of the best gals in the business. Both women pulled out all the stops with a well-worked match that paid off the storyline while keeping fans guessing for the duration. There were some truly exceptional sequences and counters in there, such as Sky's brilliant rose plant counter toward the closing stretch. If there's one criticism, it's not on the work itself, but that WWE could, and perhaps should, have given them an extra minute or 2 to play with. As it is, the match was 14 thrilling minutes where the performers created much drama with their wrestling and more than delivered in a high-pressure semi-main spot. Number 4, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles at Backlash France. A month after winning the WWE title, more on that in a bit too, Cody Rhodes faced his first test as champion when he went up against an invigorated AJ Styles in the main event of Backlash France. The phenomenal one had returned to WWE looking better and bigger than ever, approaching his shot at the American Nightmare like he had a point to prove. The fans in Lyon were raucous as they had been all show and were so animated during the in-ring introductions that they actually shook the hard cam. Cody and AJ didn't disappoint them either, piecing together a gripping slow burn match that built expertly and began to simmer as they upped the intensity and Styles targeted the champ's shoulder. They traded near falls and did some nice counter wrestling before AJ hit Rhodes with a gnarly suplex on the ring apron. Cody, not one to be outdone, followed that up by powerbombing Styles through the French announce table. The challenger dug deep, busting out a springboard 450 and a goddamn burning hammer, but Rhodes continued to kick out, made his own spirited comeback, and notched his first title defense thanks to Crossroads after almost half an hour of top-class action.
Yeah, this match was
Number
really
3,
good, bro.
Gunther versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 40 Night 1. Gunther's record-setting Intercontinental title reign was one for the ages. Across 666 days, the awesome Austrian defended his strap against all comers, putting on countless great and very diverse numerous matches in the process. Such a strong reign deserved a strong ending, and that's exactly what it got when the underdog from the underground stepped up on night 1 of WrestleMania 40. WWE had given the match a Rocky-like build, presenting Sami as somebody who may have been a long shot, but definitely had a shot at winning the gold. Gunther was at his big bully best here, shrugging off Zayn's flurries and putting him down with those mean chops of his. Sami, ever the resilient babyface, wouldn't stay down and kept finding ways to stay in the fights, busting out some impressive suplexes and a big tornado DDT. In a nail-biting near fall, Gunther countered a haluva kick with a massive lariat, which he then followed up with a double powerbomb. When Zayn actually kicked out, fans started to believe an upset was in the offing, and after withstanding more punishment, Sami hit a turnbuckle brainbuster and a haluva kick for the feel-good win. Number 2, Roman Reigns vs Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. In the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 40, The Rock and Roman Reigns...
This main event, bro. No lie, this main event, Night 1 main event was really good, bro. I am not gonna lie. And I think he's gonna say main event 2 was another one. That had to be number 1. That was honestly by far my favorite. WrestleMania 40 is my favorite WrestleMania, man.
Beat Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, meaning that Night 2's main event, with the Tribal Chief putting his WWE title on the line against the American Nightmare, would take place under Bloodline rules. A year after fans believed Cody would finish his story, the deck was stacked against him, and there wasn't much to separate the two men during the first part of the match. And that was fine, by the way, featuring good wrestling and all that, but everybody watching this knew this thing wasn't going to end without other people having their say. First up was Jimmy Uso, whose interference was nullified by twin brother Jay. Solo Sikoa was out next, but John Cena showed up to take him out. That was the cue for the final boss, who sent Big Match John packing. Seth Rollins, bless him, wasn't that much help, but The Undertaker arrived on the scene to eliminate The Rock from the equation. That left Cody and Roman alone, with Rhodes finally finishing the bloody story by hitting Crossroads 3 times to end the long reign of Roman.
I loved this match in particular because we knew there was gonna be a new babyface, which is, you know, Cody being the highlight now, being the main champion now as a babyface, because we had a heel be a champ for a while. Then also having Reigns become babyface, because we had, like, I already felt like Reigns lost. There got to be some beef going on now within the family. And that's how they kind of did it and turned Reigns a little bit into a babyface. But it's just crazy to know that during this time, like, we were waiting to see what was going to happen next with Roman Reigns. It wasn't like Cody Rhodes won and, like, we all celebrate, which, don't get me wrong, congrats. But we knew Reigns was still going to be the star because we were going to figure out, basically, what's going to happen to him now. Is he still in charge? And thus, this is where we are at right now with him being, again, the OTC right now, which was another, like, highlight, you know?
And Reigns. A good match in its own right, but the sports entertaining shenanigans put it over the top. Number 1, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would have chose Reigns versus Rhodes as number 1. This one would have been number 2. But listen, this match, though, was, oh my God, phenomenal. This
Blood. It's fair to say that the Hell in a Cell match, as a stipulation, had lost a bit of its luster. Bad booking and shows which featured multiple cell matches for seemingly no reason other than #branding had diluted what was once the promotion's go-to blood feud settler. So I would just like to take this opportunity to thank CM Punk and Drew McIntyre for rehabilitating the cell.
They represented what the Hell in a Cell was supposed to be, and they did phenomenal.
And making it really mean something again. The climax of a deeply personal and bitter rivalry, their cell bout at Bad Blood was everything fans wanted and more. This was two guys who positively hated each other, doing horrible things not just to win the match, but to maim their enemy. It had violence, drama, and blood, some of which came from a hard way cut the Scottish Warrior sustained when Punk walloped him with a metal toolbox.
Facts. Bro, this match, bro, no lie, was actually good. It had bloody moments. It was dope. The story was really good as they kept continuing it. But in my opinion, not gonna lie, like, they didn't get out the cage. I feel like it would have been more fire if they went out the cage, like they broke through and stuff. But listen, the fact that they kept it inside, they did what they had to do, and Punk being the victor, not gonna lie, it made even Drew McIntyre more popping too. So at the end of the day, this match was good. But my personal opinion, not gonna lie, Reigns, Rhodes 2, WrestleMania number 40, main event 2. Come on now, I felt like them right there, that was it. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm gonna open up the comment section. And what do you think was your favorite match in WWE of 2024 last year? Because mine, like I already said, not gonna lie, Rhodes and Reigns represented something to me, and I felt like that was dope, and it was a good timeline of my life. So I feel like that's why maybe I'm more attached to it compared to this one. But what do you guys think down below? Which match was one of your favorites? If you haven't done so already, do me a favor and subscribe to your boy. On the road to 2K subscribers. We almost there, guys. Not gonna lie. Shout out to Cultaholic Wrestling for making the videos. So go subscribe to them too. I'm already subscribed. And if you haven't done so already, like I already said, again and again and again, power bomb that subscribe button for me. Yes, sir. On the road to 2K. Appreciate y'all. Peace.